We're down here in the beautiful Missouri Ozarks here at the gun range, our little home on the range, and it's a beautiful morning. The sun's just coming up. You can start to see it rising up over the hills, and there's something that has been really troubling me, and I know it's been troubling much of America, much of the world, is seeing the death of the church. And I believe the church is dying for a couple reasons. Number one, it started with the changing of the church. The church has changed. It has become anti-Christian or anti-Christ. And I guarantee many people watching this, especially those of you churchgoers, you're thinking, Antichrist? You calling the church Antichrist? Yeah, I'm calling the anti-church Antichrist. And here's why. Because it is anti-Christian. You know, prophesying about Jesus Christ's second coming, about the end times, all falls down to this exodus of the church, a mass exodus. There's the church age is dying, but yet the Antichrist has a religion that his fathers did not know, is what Daniel tells us. And if we look at what Jesus specifically said about us, now when I say us, I'm talking about Christians, and I don't even hesitating to use the word Christian anymore because of what people around the world see Christians as is anti-Christian. What we were 20 years ago as a love, caring about the least of these. That doesn't exist anymore. What the Christian church has turned into is care about yourself. You are all that matters. Your comfort is all that matters. Your opinion is all that matters. But what Jesus said about this, the end times, is very significant. If we look when he's talking to the disciples in Matthew 24 about the end times, he says this in 11. Then many false prophets will rise up and deceive many. And because lawlessness will abound, the love of many will grow cold. But he who endures to the end shall be saved. Now, let's talk about false prophets first. The Christian church has become a political machine. The Christian church and politics, right-wing politics, are blending in as the same thing. Could you imagine if Jesus Christ walked around with his Xerxes hat and his Pilate 00 shirt? It's unheard of. He wasn't a political person. Everybody thought that Jesus Christ came to save them from the Romans, but he came to save them from themselves. And everybody here is trying to save themselves from politics, and they're becoming political prophet machines. Political prophesying is very predominant in the church today. What I'm hearing is just disgusting. People prophesying on political figures, talking about where political figures live as holy ground. I mean, oh my God, that's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. And anybody in your church that preaches that, you should stand up, you should yell at them, heresy, and then you should storm out and never return. It's disgusting. It is literally disgusting to turn the Christian church into a political prophesying machine. Many Christians are following false prophets right now because they're telling them what they want to hear politically. When their favorite candidate loses, they tell them some sort of prophecy about how they're actually really in charge, or they're really going to win again. It's a political prophesying. It's disgusting, and it has no place in the church. That's why people are leaving the church. The church age is dying because there's a remnant, there's a few that are saying this is not okay. But the most fascinating thing that Jesus said in 12 is because lawlessness will abound, the love of many will grow cold. But what does he mean by lawlessness? Let's talk about it. How lawless is the church? Will do they honor the Sabbath? No, they don't. Lawless. Do they love others before themselves? No, they don't. Lawless. Do they worship idols? Yes. This is lawlessness we're talking about. Do they take the Lord's name in vain? Yes, they do. Do they commit adultery? Yes. Do they bear false witness? Yes. Do they honor their mothers and fathers? No. Do they covet their neighbor's things? Yes. Everything that God said was the law, the church is not doing. There is nothing outside of maybe murder. And even there, you can't even say they're not doing that to many degrees. What we're seeing in the church is, I just listed 8 of the 10 commandments. Well, technically 9 of the 10. I listed the 10 commandments there. That's what I was talking about. The church is not obeying any of them. That makes them anti-Christian, which makes them anti-Christ. What Jesus told us to beware of is to beware of false prophets and to beware of lawlessness. And because of this lawlessness, the love has grown cold. There is no love in the church. The church is literally dead because it is the Antichrist church. And when the Antichrist does take over, he's going to claim this as his religion. And everybody that's following this garbage is going to follow him, and they'll take the mark, and then they're going to start turning you in as an outlaw is what they're going to do, and they're going to start turning me in as an outlaw. And I guarantee you, many people, they probably turn this video off halfway through. As soon as I start talking about the Christian churches becoming a political machine, it offends them. It offends them because how dare you say that my political views are what they are, or how dare, but yet if I would have said something about Jesus, that's okay. That's okay. You can talk trash on Jesus. Don't talk trash on my favorite politician. It's disgusting. And again, that's why so many people are leaving the church. The young people look at it, and they're not dumb. They know who's fake and who's not fake, and they're saying this is not what Christianity is. Young people, if you go to any church that's barely surviving, it's filled with older people, and they're probably disagreeing with half the things you're saying anyway. And these big mega churches, they're filled with anti-Christians. They're filled with anti-Christians, just spewing out political prophecy and teaching lawlessness. Lawlessness. If you're going to church on Sunday, you're not even honoring the Sabbath at that point. Like, lawlessness abounds. And because of that, the love of many has grown cold, and so people are leaving the church. There is no love in the church. The church is dead because the Christian church in America has become the church of the Antichrist. Sorry, it's the truth. Love to hear your thoughts on it. Put in the comments below. If you like this video, click like and subscribe. You feel called to support this channel with the Patreon, that link is also below. But the most important part of this channel is we take prayer requests, so don't ever hesitate to send that in. Thank you for watching this episode of God, Family, and Guns. And as always, love God, love your family, and love guns.